Hello, and thanks for joining this webinar, Managing Change, Recommended Practices for Planning Deployment and Adoption of New Technology. Today we'll discuss the current landscape and challenges associated with digital transformation, talk recommended practices for managing technology change, and review 8 plans to leverage for successful change management. Let's get started. Even today, when many companies report that they have begun digital transformation efforts, the business of digital change is just as confounding as it was more than a decade ago. Among the top reasons cited for digital transformation failure is resistance to change, 51% according to decision makers, and lack of focus on the impact the technological change will have on the business user. Organizations can develop the smartest strategies and implement the latest technology, but neither will matter unless every individual within your business goes through the desired change you are looking to implement. Add in new demands for mobility and changes to the way people are expected to work, and you're left struggling to gain benefits from your digital adoption initiatives, leading to 75% of projects failing to deliver intended business benefits. The question then becomes why? There are several factors: ineffective change management, lack of sponsorship, and traditional one-dimensional learning approaches. Let's look at some recommended practices for managing change. First, focus on the human side of digital adoption. You need to drive awareness, desire, and answer a critical question for the business user. What's in it for me? According to recent reports, understanding that change management is a success enabler means you are 6 times more likely to meet your business objectives. So what does the big picture look like? With a focus on people, your desired business outcomes are hinged on 3 pillars: leadership and sponsorship, project management, and change management. But it involves more than just identifying the change that's needed and desired. You need to execute against it. Simply put, it means that in order to see organizational change, it must begin on an individual level. Whether it's 1 person or 1,000 people, everyone must journey from the current state to the desired future state the digital initiative is intending to yield. Here's our approach. Leveraging our Propel methodology, underpinned by ProSize ADKAR model, we employ 4 stages to move every single person through the 5 stages of ADKAR. Without doing so, you'll see employees asking the same questions over and over, lower utilization or incorrect usage of new systems, and employees will revert to the old ways of working. How do you prevent this from happening? We've discussed challenges tied to digital adoption, high-level essentials of change management, as well as ADKAR and the different stages to drive change. As we keep that in mind, let's now explore the 8 plans to drive change management. This is where execution takes center stage. The communications plan is an outline that builds awareness around the desired change by sending the right message to the right people at the right time, utilizing a variety of channels. For example, 50% of users are inclined to read messages from their direct report. That's important to note when considering the communications strategy. The training plan is the documented outline of who, what, when, and where people will be trained. It's intended to identify the specific needs of a diverse, multi-generational, dispersed workforce and identifying any skills gaps via an assessment. Next, we move on to the sponsorship plan, which outlines 3 key roles leaders and sponsors must play. They need to be active, they need to build coalitions, and they need to communicate directly to end users. The coaching plan supports managers and supervisors by empowering them to be an advocate in helping to build awareness, create desire, and be a champion for the duration of the digital project. Next, we look at the resistance management plan. By knowing what resistance looks like, you can identify when to allow resistance to run its course and when to head it off at the pass. This is a set of processes and tools to manage resistance from different users and personas. It's aimed at providing the project team, sponsors, and coaches with a plan for resistance management. The adoption measurement plan is focused around technology changes. It establishes metrics early on to track and monitor technology usage layered with the different resources you're implementing. It's a way to keep a pulse on whether the resources you're rolling out are driving adoption and use. A change network management plan is an established practice to identify and leverage early adopters. They're key influencers to drive peer to peer change. Celebrating early successes is key as it will reinforce and encourage adoption. That's why the rewards and recognition plan is needed. It's a formal approach to implement corrective actions and manage lack of adoption by your users. So, how does this all come together in practice? Let's take a look at a large global technology company we helped recently. The business wanted to improve collaboration among their teams and implemented OneDrive for Business. They rolled out OneDrive to 30,000 employees, but only 2,000 people were using it. As a result, the company's desire to reduce costs tied to hardware and maintenance wasn't realized. Leveraging our methodology and change management foundation, we took a people centric approach by providing support and training options to increase usage. In 1 year, we saw a 1,000% increase in OneDrive usage. Change may feel different today. The technology increasingly complex, the pace more frenetic, the end goal less evident, but people are still the key to successful transformation. Organizations that recognize this and focus on the human element of change will be better equipped for success in digital business. Thank you for listening in, and we hope you enjoyed this webinar.